All right, we're rocking and rolling here. Mike the PT at Optimal Physical Therapy. As always, we have our resident athlete here, Rihanna. She's not considered a pediatric anymore, but we're going to talk a little bit pediatrics today. So that means we're talking about the young folks, okay? So I got her shoe off because I want to talk to you about a condition that our kids are starting to experience more and more of. When I was younger and in a younger population, an older population, we were seeing those things called Osgood-Schlatters disease. And what it was a vague knee pain that kids would get when they were too active, played too many sports, basketball, football, baseball sequentially, or are gymnasts, dancers, things of that nature. Things have changed a little bit, times have changed a little bit, and so what we're seeing now is kids are having this vague, dull pain that's at their heel. And once again, it's called a disease. So this was called Osgood-Schlatters disease. This is called Sever's disease. Basically, it's an overuse injury in children, and what's happening is, as the Achilles tendon is attaching to the bone here, the growth plate's not formed yet, and they're just getting some separation. So kids are getting this dull pain at their heel right here. Now what happens typically is in our 11 to 13-year-old males, we tell them to suck it up and go keep playing. But I think there's an imbalance between video games and sports. So a lot of downtime with video games, go outside, play, for an hour, hour and a half, and then they're off of it, and they're doing that 3 and 4 times a week and stuff like that. So what we're going to talk about is how to manage this. Now, stretching is one method of trying to address this. What happens is that ache will get worse and worse and worse, and then kids will say, "Ooh, I just can't run anymore. It just hurts so much to run." But here's what's happening. They're getting a bad advice. The advice is to go home and ice it and to stretch it. And those are two things that I couldn't disagree with more. Do not ice any kind of overuse injury, and stretching is okay to a certain extent, but what we have to start doing is getting a strengthening program put together, and it doesn't have to be anything crazy. If you're a kid, or if you are a kid, and you have this vague, dull, achy pain, I'm gonna go ahead and give you 3 exercises that I want you to start doing. And it all directs into addressing the calf strength, and maybe even some strength on up the river there. So heel pain, watch this, I'm gonna give you some more stuff. All right, Rihanna's gonna demonstrate a heel raise. Go ahead, holding onto something, up, down, making sure she's going through her big toe. And she's gonna do 20 repetitions, 2 to 3 sets, depending on how strong she is. Go. Okay, what we're doing, a couple of the exercises for Sever's disease, that pain at the heel. All Rihanna's doing, she's got a band wrapped around her foot. She's pointing down, but keeping her toes back. And one thing I noticed is that her foot kind of goes in a little bit. So I want her to lead with her big toe, okay, so that she's getting this push through her Achilles region. And all she's doing is holding. So she's isometric push, hold, 40 seconds or longer, 5 repetitions, okay? TheraBand, that's called an isometric plantar flexion. All right, last of the exercise that I wanted to kind of just talk about, once again, we got our band back. We can put this around the foot. We're gonna pull away, and Rihanna's gonna pull her toe in towards her. Go ahead and back out. And we're gonna do about 15 repetitions this way. Good, back in, and relax, okay? So inversion, we're going this way, and then we're gonna do the same thing with the band. We're gonna hold to the outside, and she's gonna push out. Make sure she's not rotating her leg, but just moving directly through her ankle. Same thing, 15 times, 2 to 3 repetitions.